we got to talk about your satire videos. What got you to say, I'm going to do this? Because it exploded. Like in
Yeah.
our community, we were like, have you seen this? I mean, it was blowing up. And that was back in the days when, to me anyhow, I never had social media. I never had any of that, but I'm
Yeah.
like, show me that.
Yeah. I mean, if anybody knows me from a kid, I've always just kind of been the jokester. Like I take the things I have to do in life super serious, but then on my off time, I try to make every experience as fun as I can. You know, my dad said, you know, there's no dress rehearsal in this thing. And so I've always kind of carried that with me where my dad was a jokester and had fun. But obviously when it came to like his business and his profession, he was a super serious guy. And I kind of had that like artist bone in me. I was in an emo band and all that stuff that I've said before on publicly. But what it really came down to is like, I started making stuff even when I was in Ranger Town. It was like when the first IMAX came out, I would just sit there and I'd go like with one of my buddies, Justin, and we'd sit down in our basement because we lived together in Tacoma. And I'd like shake my keys to make a song and then sing a song about how gay my brother is, right? Like, you like penis so much. And I'd send it to it was just for like selfish comedic, right? Like just for one person, make my brother laugh, talk some shit. And I think that just kind of materialized over the years where I got a little more comfortable with it. And then, yeah, to honestly, a lot of the credit was we would sit around in these groups around the fire pits when we were overseas when I was a contractor, and you know, the day's work was done and we'd all just be like talking shit and making fun of making fun of ourselves. I mean, one specifically, we were all joking about how if there was like a piece of trash in the road, we'll swerve it. And then, you know, your girlfriend or your wife would be like, it's not a fucking IED, you know, because you're back home.
Right.
And so it was like, okay, that's a really serious actual like mental conditioning that has happened to protect you and your job. But you could make light of that if we go make a joke about it. And so I started like taking just notes of us sitting by the fire and bullshit. And so a lot of this stuff, honestly, unknowingly was written by just the banter between teammates. And then, you know, I would try to position that in a fun light, whether that was, you know, the rap battles or something like that. And so I don't know. I didn't ever set out to do it, but it's kind of humbling and cool to look back that I
exploded.
Probably one of the first guys, like the Snoop Dogg of like the comedy in that space. Cause at least at the time it was always like, I'm such a badass. And I never looked at myself in any capacity like that. I just enjoyed what I did for my job, but also wanted to make some dick jokes.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, man, like just so you know, all of us out there loved it. Like it would come out and it'd be like, have you seen this one? And it would just go around like wildfire. Awesome. And it was kind of like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, who is he?
Who's this cocky little ranger?
Yeah, right. But no,
dude, I remember. I don't think I've ever said this story before. I was sitting and I was in northern Iraq. I lived there for quite a while. And I remember I was trying to write a Navy SEAL boy band song because I was like, I'm going to poke the SEALs because they're going to get so pissed at this. And when I had structured it, it was kind of rude. And I was like, well, it looks like I'm just making fun of the teams, which I don't want to do. And I was watching epic rap battles of history and I was like, oh my God, what if I just have like a ranger rap against a SEAL and we could just go cutthroat against each other? And I don't know, I randomly I came home and I filmed that myself on a tripod in my house in Colorado.
That one exploded. That was the one I was
That was the first one that was like, oh my God, I could be doing this. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the one and Bear hasn't seen it, so shame on him. But that was the one that I think that's probably the first one I ever saw. And then I'm like, who is this guy? Where's he getting his stuff from? Because you could tell, I mean, at least we could tell this is someone from within our community. This is not an outsider making fun because he knows what to say.
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's been a heck of a journey. And I think that's probably one of my proudest things with the content, not to be like a martyr, but is, you know, you'd start to see the receptive nature of it, of guys that were currently serving and guys that were like Desert Storm, even Vietnam or Panama. Like there was this community that started getting built around it. And it was really cool. And I think, I mean, we still see that today with Black Rifle, right? That's what we try to encompass, like the media component that we built years ago into like a corporate infrastructure that hopefully far outlives me. And then one day someone younger and better takes the torch and they become part of like the leadership group, which we're trying to do that with some of the folks coming in through Apex and SkillBridge programs of like, how do we set this thing up for when the new generation comes, they can carry the torch and be like the stewards of the community.